here. Can't really see me too well, but that's okay. We're gonna turn it and we're gonna get right. All right, man. We here, man, every
There we
week.
go.
SSL podcast, man. Sunday Smokers League. If you don't know, we're gonna be here every week. As usual, we back this year with my co-analyst from the analyst pool and co-host to the podcast. You got Jarek, Oda. You guys know who they are. If you don't, get in tune. What's going on, fellas? Jarek.
What's going on, man? You already know what it is. It's week 3. I'm about to put my hands back up after that whooping. I took round 2. You know what I mean? Ain't too many more of those coming. So just let you know.
I
Oh,
respect that.
No, I agree down, man. Big wins, big talks, but we'll get to that.
We will. We will. We definitely gonna get to that. So we like we do every week. We're gonna get started with just the matchups of the week, and we'll each nominate our matchup because why not get started with our own business? I'm gonna start off here. Last week, Christian Mingle versus
still a
Diggs
review.
had a little lamb. Mary had the first little lamb. Diggs had his ass whooped. You can't fuck with me ever in fantasy football. You might be a two-time champ, but I should be a two-time champ. If it wasn't for Kamara and them 6 touchdowns, but I'm not here for that. Handled him pretty easily, if you ask me. It really wasn't close. By the time Monday came and he needed help, it was far too late to receive that help. He was already down, I don't know, maybe 100 points at that point. But 44 points out of Stephon Diggs will make it look a lot better than what it was. But we were all there. We know what happened. Oda, what did you think about the matchup?
Well, I mean, looking at my rival, Diggs had a little lamb or had a little loss.
Mm.
I can't really tell. I mean, he had a bunch of guys on his team that didn't really come to play. He made a couple waiver moves. I think he jumped out and got Jeff Wilson, which helped him out, with a few points. But overall, man, he just didn't come to play. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he had a game matched up against the Eagles, and we know how that goes. He played against those Eagles, you know, and it was a good week for him, man. It's not looking good for the stock, man. What do you think, Jerry?
I mean, it's a classic commissioner beatdown. You know what I mean? The commissioner special right there last week. 170 is a nice score for anyone to have. you know. Um, Sutton, he didn't shit the bed this week, so that helps. It was a modest 12, but it was still something. You know what I mean? Uh, CMC, you got your keeper showing up weekly, so good for you on that edge. And, Stocky's got Diggs, but, it's tragedy what happened to my boy Dak, so Speedy ain't gonna put up the 18. He's gonna put up the 11s and the 10s and shit. So we'll see about it. He'll have spike week here and there, but he ain't gonna be as consistent.
Yeah, no,
What
it's not.
what did we touch on the bench at all? You guys want to talk about these
E-
bum benches or no?
yeah, yeah. On the way back around, it's funny you mentioned that because
That's some bacon.
I did want to talk about the bacon. Jahan Dotson. Well, here's the thing, Stocky. When you have bums that you don't know are gonna produce, and that's what your highest point scorers in some areas, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna fail because you have bums. So no, you don't know to set a bum over top of a bum or start a bum over top of another bum. They all bums. What the fuck you gonna do? You flip a coin and you put the bum in the game and you hope for the best. Um, it's sad when you see that though. Oda, did you want to touch on anything else on the bench? There was plenty there.
Trying to find the game right now, man. I mean, it's nothing really to talk about, man. A 40-point loss. I mean, I think that's pretty much says it all. It's not. You need to make some moves and get some better play out of some of his players, man. I mean, I'm trying to find the scores right now, but like I said, it doesn't really matter because it's a 40-point deficit.
It it doesn't. It doesn't. It it really doesn't. It doesn't. When you lose by 40, it's really. I think that's the last of our concerns is what you had on your bench. Your starting lineup was ass. Jarek, anything to close this matchup up with?
Best ball.
I mean, drop that bummy defense, bro. I think he already made that bum move, though. So you know what I mean. I think he already shuffled that bummy defense out of there. So this week he's got somebody different, I believe.
Well,
That's all
that's
I
a
gotta
start.
say about Stock, man. That's much respect. Two former champs. You know what I mean. So tip the cap. See you in the regular season, both y'all.
Well, that's the thing though in SSL, man. Well, what have you done for me lately, league? And if you haven't done anything lately, then we really just don't give a shit. And Stocky just hasn't done anything lately.
Fact.
Jarek, you wanna Oda, maybe we should let you talk about your matchup first, and that's maybe the way we should rock with that. Uh, Talk to us about your matchup, Oda Great.
I had a pretty good matchup, man, here with Mr. First Down Steelers, Peanut, aka what can I say, man? When I look at my roster and how we lost this game by 2 points, I don't feel bad, because when your players are so good that they have to take them out of the game because they're whipping somebody else, you got a future on your hands.
That's
I'm
the
not
truth.
coming to play this week. They won 50, but when you look at the overall, man, like you can see the glaring difference in the teams. Like my guys just show up, his guys aren't willing to show up. So that's the big difference I see there. And we'll see that the next time we come around. Right? Squeak by today with a 2 point win, but it won't get there next time. So
Yeah,
I mean, you guys happen. What do you think?
yeah, I was there, and I think on paper, it looks great. It looks like a win. It looks like Peanut overcame the odds and all that. But those guys that were there Monday on Sunday, that's what it looked like. But on Monday, it was kind of a different story when the third quarter rolled around, and guys were getting benched. So it seemed like a merciful death by 3 points. I was beat by Peanut in less than 1 point twice last year, and I haven't forgot about it. So he does well in close games. What did you think, Jared?
I stayed away from Derrick Henry in all fantasy leagues this year. So
Mm.
I've not been a true teller as far as Derrick Henry goes, but we'll see. He picks it up. You know what I mean? He's gonna get his eventually. So that's a bum week out of that man is a rarity. You know what I mean? He's still in the prime of his career. He's gonna get you better weeks. That's the difference in this game is a couple points out of a couple of Derrick Henry handoffs for a
Yeah.
few yards. That's it. You can't keep relying on bums like Melvin Gordon to give you 10 and Cordell to hit you with the 13 because they're these are spike weeks for those gentlemen right there. Um, Mike Williams. He looks like you know what I mean, Nostradamus picking Mike Williams when he like reached him early in the draft, that man. But
Yeah. Yeah.
he showed out, and you can't predict injuries. So you know what I mean. Herbert, is he going to play this week? I haven't heard. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
I need to do some research. What do you think, Bean?
Hey, that's the league motto. Do some research. But I think they paid
Yeah.
her. I think Herbert is in a place where he's gonna play even if he can. And just to touch back up on this matchup, though, I think it's kind of clear that what the rest of the analyst pool thought, since every single person other than Dominic, not Dominic, was it? Everyone had Oda Great winning. Everybody had him winning. The whole group had him winning. One person got it right, and I think it was him actually. I think he bet on himself. Um, and, and, and there's nothing. I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. There's nothing wrong with that. What do you think about that, Oda?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he was the only one betting on himself because, like I said, Josh Allen was putting the mud stuffing on his team, and then he had to pull the reins back, man. They say, what, we beat him up too bad. Let him have it, guy. Let him have this win, and we'll catch him on the next go round. So, I'm not really worried about it. I'm talking about mud stuffing though. Let's get to the next game up on the matchups, man.
Whoo, boy, Jarek,
Oh.
we should maybe let you bring that up. Goodness gracious. Whew.
I mean, what is there to bring up, bro? You know what I mean? It didn't matter if I had 175 up there.
That's
The
true.
motherfucker was, he was gonna stomp me out either way. So you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta sit your starters. When they get pissed off and start laying boys out, sending people to heaven on the field. The man that my team is named after got suspended for taking a man, lifting him off his feet, and tossing that motherfucker. So you've seen it. He'll be back after this week, man. I'm gonna weather one more week, you know. Um, and that's it, man. He had a superior team last week, but I'll tell you what, you ain't getting 20 out of Amari Cooper ever again. Like I said, spike weeks, you gotta know. Four 30 burgers, it's unprecedented. I don't know if 430 burgers has ever happened. I know there's been two or three 30 burgers in games.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
have to do some research. But all I know is, Aaron Jones, 30, don't expect that. Tyreek Hill, him and Waddle showed out. Oda's got Waddle, so you know what I mean. They had a good game, lots of high scoring game, lots of points, yards to be had there. Uh, you know, Tyreek's gonna meet some better defenders, and you know what I mean. He's gonna have some lower point weeks, and I'll expect that every week, especially this week, motherfucker.
Oh,
And
truly.
and you know what? Kyler's got to show off. D Swift, he's not on a snap count like he was for that ankle. And Edmonds needs to show the fuck up or I'm fucked. So you know what I mean? Dalton Schultz, he got injured. So when you got just complete opposites, the shit luck and the best luck, it's gonna even out this week. Book it.
Well, as well put, Jay. As somebody, as somebody that definitely is a connoisseur of burgers, Oda Great. What did you think? What did you think of facts? Big facts.
Being the big hamburger himself,
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'd have to say, man, this was a whopping. These guys
Whopper.
come play, man. Like he's got the second highest score in SSL history with this game,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Research.
it's wow.
Yeah.
Like you get 36 points from Tyreek Hill, and the same day you get 34 from Amon Ra. Aaron Jones with 30. Tampa Bay defense came out and gave him 35 points in a game that nobody was watching.
Nobody was watching the game. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right, you were watching because you were hoping for Evans, but after that disqualification, who knew that it was just going to come down to pick sixes on Jameis Winston's part. But when I look at the other team, some of those guys, DJ Chark had 0 points.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not going to get it.
Bro. Come on.
That's not going to get it. That's and what's crazy about this matchup is that you guys got to play again next week.
Well,
these guys are like going back-to-back game streak.
well, I think we're definitely gonna get into that here a little later when we talk about the matchup preview. But you said you said something that I definitely popped on. I was like, the Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers thing. So Jones was his keeper. He came in, he inherited that keeper, I believe, and he built a new team around it. That team sucked, obviously, last year, and only his rival was probably worse than him, so that's why he didn't get a lot of attention for it. But when you get your keeper to put up 30, you're feeling good about life. You know what I mean? Anytime your defense gets 20, you're very happy. 25, you're more happy. 35, you're fucking lucky. All right, that's just that simple. Um, but yeah, man, Dominic was on one, man, and didn't get it from Metcalf, didn't get it from the Hawk strap, and obviously, Cool missed a field goal, and I watched it on TV, and that wasn't cool, and everybody knows that ain't cool. Oh, the great, you know about shit not being cool.
That ain't cool.
No,
That ain't cool.
no. But yeah, that happened. And it's probably best we just move on with that from that as quick as possible. Yeah, so let's move along now to another matchup that was also a pretty good whopping. Um, and it turned out at first I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was. And then something must have happened on Monday. But I'm talking about the newest member to the league, Bob Russman and the Russ Family Fantasy. versus Obi-Wan Mahobi. Obi-Wan with 133.72 points. Russ family with 106 points. Jarek, what did you remember about this week, and what stood out to you about the way this broke down?
Really, I didn't remember shit about this week because I gotta have amnesia from
Right.
that beatdown.
He did go upside your head. He did go upside your head. He did.
I mean, Joe Burrow, I expect more out of him. Got him in a couple leagues. He's not doing good this season, man. But that Cowboys defense is stout. So I expect him to bounce back this week. And T. Higgins, you know what I mean? Um, it's just Antonio Gibson. He looked like the greatest call in the world week one. Week two, he's back. You're back to earth
Back to
on
earth.
Gibson. You know what I mean?
Yep.
McKissick's getting his out that way. I would know because I got some bench bacon. And I don't know, man. Tron's got a formidable team. Or Obi-Wan, PJ.
Yeah. He's the defending champ.
Yeah, I was on the wrong one.
It's okay.
Yeah, man. Champ's gonna champ. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
starting off where he left off, and kicking ass and taking names again. Russ, welcome to the league. You got you a little win last week. Congratulations, but you're back to earth on this one.
Definitely.
What do you think, Oda, on Russ man's first couple games this year?
First off, the Russ man inherited the team, and he's making do with what he can, but there's not really much he can do with that roster that was fostered to him. He's got a good combination. That Darnell Mooney guy, man, that 0.10 points is not going to get it on any scale.
Never.
And then, when you look over at the champ, man, savvy moves, waiver wire pick of the week, Curtis Samuel, he wasted some money because he didn't have Keenan Allen that week, and it just shows, championship mentality, man. He knew what kind of moves to make to solidify his team. He's getting points out of guys that he probably didn't even expect to get points out of in his lineup. So it's tough when you go up against the champ, especially when you're real all odds are against you. You gotta stick in your roots tight and make some better moves. I don't really know what other moves you can make, but I can tell you gotta make them.
You gotta make them. I don't know what the moves are, but you gotta make them.
What do you think about that, dude?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little closer, and it was close at a point. And I think, what was the Monday night game last week? Was it the Eagles and the No, that was this week. What was do you remember last week?
Eagles Vikings.
It was Eagles Vikings. So watching that game with some other implications at hand in the league, mainly Mitchell's game. But yeah, man, that game was close coming in. Obi-Wan Mahomes was actually down a few points going into Monday, and then just kind of separated himself with Miles Sanders. 12 points from his kicker didn't hurt on Sunday night, but then Miles Sanders kind of really separated himself.
Real quick, I understand everything you're saying, but you're not going to win in this league when your defense is giving you negative points.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That is glaring. That is a glaring fact. Well, it's funny you say that. I'm actually surprised that Russ Family Fantasy started Miami defense against Lamar, being such a close confidant and friend of mine. It was almost like, wow, that's what you think of my boy, but you know what? That's okay. He got 48 points that week, and his defense got a negative .46. That's not going to get it done, especially. Yeah, negative. I think that's the first negative points of the season, I believe.
Oof.
Yeah, negative points. It's rare. It's very rare to get a win here with negative points in the SSL. And some of your other leagues that you've been in, Russ, man, I'm sure that league. Whatever you're telling me about, I'm sure you can get away with that kind of shit. Here, it is definitely the big leagues. You will not get away with bush league stuff like Darnell Mooney in Miami. It's not your fault, but you started him. Jarek, what do you feel about that?
You got Mooney with .1, which is a cunt. It's that much a cunt hair away from being negative points.
And negative, yeah, negative.
You get two of those. You get 2 of those, and 18 from your quarterback, you're done. I mean, you're done.
Sheesh.
There wasn't really much bacon to be had out there on the
No
benches
bacon.
either. You know what I mean?
No bacon.
Zero bacon in this one. So
No.
what you had is what you used. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm sure Russ will be a formidable team down the road, but his quarterback, I'd be worried about that.
Jarek, I agree exactly what you're saying. I want to ask you real quick before we move on from this. What about the fact that Mahomes and Kelsey actually left something on the table there? In a favorable matchup for us, Mahomes only had 20, Kelsey only had 7. That's a combined 28 points right there, 21-7. You got to take advantage. If the champs players don't come to play, you better bring your shit.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep. Yeah, I mean that there's meat on the bone, as they say there
for
in
sure.
Kansas City. So
For sure.
they're gonna have their spike weeks more often than they won't. So this was one where you gotta get that body shot on the champ, but you know what I mean. Champ's still fresh, his legs are fresh out there. So we gotta wear him down over the season and take that bill. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
That's right. That's a fact. Well, with that being said, man, let's move along to the next matchup. Which again, now this is probably the most surprising matchup of the week to me. And even though I did pick Mo to win over Grateful Tron, Electron known in some circles, um, Tron is. Oh, you know what? We're gonna stop right here. This is a good stopping point. All right, so I'm gonna restart the meeting, and we're gonna go right in from Tron and Mo.
All right.
All right. Moving right along. All right, Mo the Great Dick just beat Grateful Tron 133 to 121.84. And I'm gonna just address the elephant in the room really quickly before I pass it to you, Oda Great. Let's not act like if Carson Wentz didn't have the best game that he's had since fucking before the Super Bowl win, that this would even have been close. This would have been a blowout.
Whew.
I would say that, but what I want to say about Carson Wentz is he's the new Blake Bortles. You remember Blake Bortles used to,
Yes, I
he'd
do.
be the trash quarterback. He wasn't doing much out there as far as winning games, but when it came to garbage time, he knew how to put numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you're going to get with Carson Wentz. What you're not going to get is Jamar Chase with 8 points every week. I mean, I got to think that he's going to do it a little bit better. Jonathan Taylor, he had 6 points. Michael Thomas, is pretty much the best skill player he had playing that day. But he got 10 out of, try and move. He had bench bacon, a lot of bench bacon, well, not really rostering another quarterback. But, I mean, Mo the Great Dick came to play this week, man. As far as he says, he came to play this season with his drafted team. And he got a pretty good team over there. He got a couple Eagles players, Fly Eagles Fly. And those are pretty much his best players on his team with a couple other guys mixed in there. And he didn't get anything from his keeper, Dalvin Cook.
No.
And he doesn't have very much bench bacon. So, I mean, this was just pretty much a good win for him this week.
Yeah, it really was. Mo the Great.
Speaking of,
been anything but dickish for the first 2 weeks. Jalen Hurts, he's showing out this season. Battle the old. Oh, look who it is!
yeah, man, out of nowhere, here we are. You bring them up and on the podcast. This we're bringing you this every week. SSL, be in tune with the podcast. We'll be here. Mo the Great Dick, welcome to the podcast, man. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, nice to be here.
So we gotta talk. We gotta talk one at a time. So when we'll all three get a chance to address you, like on after the NBA, and you can kind of just answer some questions real quick about your matchup and how you feel about your season so far. So I'll actually kick it off, and I'll say like I told them before. Not only this looked closer than it was because I don't think Carson Wentz is capable of putting up 33 points every week. And if he hadn't done that, this would have looked a lot worse than it was. How do you feel about the win?
I was hella surprised with Carson Wentz's performance. Even watching the game as things started to progress, and I really had faith in the boys. I think everyone was clicking, everyone was firing all cylinders. We had some things with Tyler Boyd, a few splits with Dalvin Cook, so it wasn't, a crystal stare by any means. But I think that we were prepared this weekend. I think that our team was absolute gutter trash. The tail of the tape really doesn't say it. It looks a lot closer than it was, but at no point did we feel, even when we were down close to 80 points early Sunday, did we feel like we were going to lose? We never felt like we were coming from behind. It was almost like when you watch Bugs Bunny give Elmer Fudd that big head start and he plays games, and then Elmer Fudd shoots himself with his own shotgun, and Bugs walks across the finish line. That's what this fantasy week really felt like to me. So, shouts out to my Elmer Fudd ass Tron team. That's pretty much how that went for me.
Well,
Good job, Lutron. A lot of good luck. Hey, your points are going to add up at the end. Maybe you'll be above Dominic or Nico. There's some ins and outs there. At least you won't be at the bottom of the toilet bowl. Any luck?
Jeez. Jared. Oda, go.
Hold a great big question for you, man. How does it feel to, come out of such a slump from the last season to this season, starting off with a 2-0 start, currently in, I believe, it's third place in the league, and considering yourself as a rising star? How does that feel?
That's a great question, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. There's still a little bit of trauma from last year. I felt good at the draft, and then when guys started falling like bad dominoes, I felt like I should have won a lot of games that I didn't win early in the season. I feel like there's still teams that owe me W's, and I'm here this year to collect. So it was a little rough taking off, but I think we're going in the right direction.
Can I get a cheeseburger also?
I got you, bro. I got you. Just everything.
Jared.
No worries. Boom, 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 boom. Everything there. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you, guys. Thank you. It was a great question, and just looking to use the momentum that you handed me last year. If you are a student of the league, you'll know that my name is a hybrid of one of the greatest champions ever to take the ship in Sunday Smokers League, and then also one of the worst and most prolific losers. So I think I have a lot of being cautiously aware of the past and hopefully optimistic for the future.
Looks like we have some technical difficulties with Mo, but that's okay, Jared. Maybe you can
Damn. I didn't get to ask him a question.
I'm sure he'll be right back. I'm sure he'll be right back. You get a chance to address him.
Well, I'm just wondering, it's a 2-0 start is certainly something that you just can't predict.
I see what you did there.
It's let's see if he keeps it up. That's what matters. You know what I mean? 1-2 weeks. That's not gonna mean nothing unless you're hurting for wins when it comes to be playoff time.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. And it does look like we definitely did freeze up. Looks like it looks like you might be actually joining back in, but it's not a problem to just spend a couple more moments and give him a couple minutes because he did get some nice fantasy performances. He got a late Buffalo kick return for a touchdown there on the Monday night game. And Bateman caught a bomb. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a great matchup, but it looks like we lost Mo the Great Dick. And if he comes back, we'll talk to him. If not, we'll just keep it moving. We'll wrap up these matchups, and he might actually come for the last matchup of the evening right here that we're going to talk about, which is the lowest scoring point total of the year so far. But no, was that the year? Can we look back on the screen and we can just check out what week 1 was?
Year, it is. It is the year.
It is the year. And it's the year by 10 points. Yeah, that research is on the screen if you're interested in it. You're watching from the phone. But yeah, damn, like that's rough. 88 points. I don't think it matters what the Raging Russians scored because they barely broke 100 themselves, but 88 and a half points. Jarek, Talk to me. How does this happen? How does a team score 88 points 2 weeks after they drafted the guys that are on the field?
You know, his keeper, unlike some of us, he showed up week one, big tud. Week two, knuckles are dragging, man. He's just ass in the sand, bro. 7.8 out of Jefferson. I guess you can blame it on the quarterback, but that's something you got to take into consideration when you're keeping a receiver instead of running back like Saquon. It wasn't either of these teams' best performance, and I'm not one to speak on performances in week two either, but score more than Troy. So,
Well, Jared,
yeah,
before we kick it to Oda, let me ask you something real quick. I hate to interrupt you. What pick was it that he reached for Ezekiel Elliott all willy nilly at the draft?
was it third round
Believe it was
or
somewhere
fourth
right
round?
around there, third or fourth.
Ah, oof, I mean, it was a reach. It was at least 2 rounds of reach. Everybody knew Tony Pollard was going to see more work because the coaches and everybody, beat writers, said Tony P is going to get more work. They have an out in Ezekiel Elliott's contract in 2023. Hashtag do some research. I went ahead and let him go. We went ahead and put him into the open market this season. Moved on with younger, more swift. You know what I mean? So more swift running back.
See what you
Swift
did there. I see
is,
what you did there.
you
I see
know,
what you did there.
it's part of the sending you to Evans. You know what I mean? You got to go pretty quick.
Pretty
You know what I mean?
swiftly.
So
Pretty
this
swiftly.
week, Dom better take heed. You know.
Yeah.
So hey, Oda, my question is, what do you think about this man stealing old Eckler from you this year? He's showed up a little bit. Don't you want him on your squad or what?
I have a lot of children in this league and the way people are building their teams. I've noticed some things, but I'm not going to call anyone out or several people out on those things. But
Right.
when I look at these two teams in this matchup, excuse me, Troy's in a conundrum situation at all times. It seems
Every year.
first week he starts Akers and Henderson goes off. Then he starts Henderson and Akers is getting love. And then when you look at other situations, he doesn't know if he wants to start James Robinson or Ezekiel Elliott. Every week it's a conundrum, guy. Like, what did you draft? Did you draft a bench or did you draft guys to play in the starting lineup? I can't really tell, but I mean, you gotta get that in order, man. This isn't best ball, as I said before. As far as raging rushes, man, he's got a pretty decent team over there, man. Those guys didn't come to play, and if you look at it, he's got a lot of injury-prone guys over there. And I think that's going to be a problem to look at throughout the season. He's got some bench bacon down there, but he won this game. But this is what do you call it when two teams don't score very much in a game? And I don't really know the terminology for it, but
Bum fight.
They'd call that a bum fight around the
right,
SSL.
right.
That's a bum fight. You see
Yeah.
two bums fighting with a knife in an alley. It's like, okay, come on, guys.
I don't spend too much time in this game because these guys didn't make the wordy talk.
So see, I'm gonna kick it to Jared, but I disagree. I'd like to spend a little bit more time on this game because it
Okay.
really shows you the separation of the great managers and owners, the guys that have been there and done it. And then you talk about a guys that have never done it and done it, but done more ridiculous stuff than actually doing stuff. So it's like you win, you lose. It's like you're really just both losers. Jared, talk to me about the matchup.
All I know is that there is a Dick season still in the running here, and Troy's keeping the hopes alive here. You know,
He
a third
would. He
a
would.
third season of Dick.
Mm.
So, um, Russell, that was a poor decision. Jefferson's good. They're both, Troy, is a former champ. So Mr. Jefferson's better step up his game. He's had some weak weeks from his lineup, and 0-2 is not the way you want to start. You certainly at least want to come away with a win within the first 2 weeks. Um, so Nico, he had his reign of terror last year. Came up a little shy this year. At least he's got a win. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he's 1-1. He's still in contention. Um, I don't see either of these teams making the playoffs this year, if I'm being honest.
So
So,
I agree with that wholeheartedly, and I'm gonna touch on it. I'm gonna go a different way with it. I'm gonna talk about Troy's team for just a moment, but then I want to really get your true opinions on Nico's team, because in my opinion, I thought Nico was terrible this week, just the same as Troy, except one of them broke 100. Troy, 13 points from your quarterback. That's atrocious. 7.8 points from your keeper. That is deplorable. 1 point from your kicker doesn't matter because kickers don't really matter. But 6 points from your defense, dude, you had four players that were in double figures. And the guy that scored the most, literally, out of everyone in his lineup, the guy that scored the most points was James Robinson with 14.8, and he was on his bench. If you look, it's on the screen. Let me zoom in for you. For those that are having a hard time seeing it, right here where the cursor is, you see that big? All of these guys, none of them had 14 points. Not even the quarterback. Darren Waller had 14 flat. James Robinson had 14.8. That's despicable. I'm done talking about your team. You're never going to be as good as I am, and you have a good chance of being the dick that we all always knew you were. With that being said, and again, it doesn't bring me any pride to talk about this guy either, because he gets wins, like you said, he's got a couple wins. Nico's team was trash too. Let me give me an honest opinion on Nico's team, Oda Great. When you really look at it,
Well, I mean, when you draft as a biased homer, and you
mm,
take guys like, Naheem Hines earlier in the draft,
hmm
uh, he's got some pieces over there, man. But like I said, he drafted the guys that were injury prone, first off. And, it all has to come together at the same time in order for him to get to win. And it came together against this guy. But I think if he had played anybody else during the week, it would have been an L, right?
yeah,
Am I wrong?
yeah,
It would
no,
have been.
yeah,
So.
what it really comes down to though is two sad Colts fans.
hmm
You know what I mean?
that's a
Both
fact.
had shit weeks last couple of weeks,
Yeah,
and their team is shit.
yeah,
It sucks. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in the same boat. Dak is gone, but Cooper Rush looks better than Matt Ryan,
that's
and
a
that's
fact.
sad.
That's a
You know,
fact. That's factual information.
you got multiple tight ends on your team. You started the wrong one. That's zeros from Hunter Henry. Mike Gesicki put up 12 feet, which is probably our fucking tight end 1 week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts, facts.
So, just hopefully these teams will get better. They might, the players might not be passionate. 11 from Brady, dude. The GOAT. Is this it?
Yeah.
Is this it for Tom? Is this the decline finally? It's because he went on that coke bender or got plastic surgery, one of the two.
Or the
You know what I
divorce.
mean?
Or the divorce.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the divorce.
I think
He
he's
got
getting.
plastic surgery, bro.
Yeah, I think the
Chin
ghost getting.
looks different.
No, I think he's getting. I think the ghost getting divorced, but it's okay. He'll have five more Giselles, I'm sure. But Nico will not have any Giselles on his fantasy team if he keeps putting up guys like Thielen. Why is Thielen starting on anybody's team? That's ridiculous. You could have started Sammy Watkins for all of that. Mike Gesicki on the bench. Naheem Hines. Look, let's keep it 100. He's got one, two, three, four Indianapolis professional football team players on his team, and they combined for 1, 6, 6 points from four guys. Like, what are you gonna do there?
You gotta have the one guy on the team. He doesn't even have the one guy on the team.
No, he's got all the other guys, and
I got that man.
yeah, 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 and it's it's probably best this way. Nico, bless his heart, he's doing his best, but the team's just not that good. And Duvernay is not gonna keep producing like that. But if you want to send me a trade for him, I probably could talk to you. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about how this bum fight actually went. And yeah, it was just pretty much two Colts fans, two sad Colts fans fighting over the last horseshoe at the fucking at the fucking racetrack. Um, it was terrible. Let's just put it that way. All right, so let's transition, man. Since we got through those reviews, and let's talk about the analyst pool and the picks that were made for the week last week. Um, I know I did pretty damn good in the analyst pool this week. I picked some winners. Um, I didn't I didn't pick I think one right. Jared, how'd you do this week?
I'm getting it pulled up here, but I think I went 3-3. So
It's
I
not
got
bad.
I got 3 last week and I got 3 this week.
It's not bad.
Yeah. The picks. Let's see. I can't get the picks up. Good picks.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I've been sitting here clicking the pick 'em button as everybody sees on the screen, and it's just taking its time to get there.
Okay. Yeah, so I got 3 right each week. I got 6. I'm not hating it. Tina, he had 2 last week, 4 this week. So Peanut is out in front again this season.
He is.
I just Oda's right ahead too. He's also got 6. He got 5, but except for him. So can't blame the man himself.
Right.
No, you can't.
You snatched up 4. You made up for a week 1.
Very weak.
And as usual, Robert's bringing up the rear. So that's how the analyst pool is going. I'm okay with that. I got an okay start. Oda and Peanut, we got to beat Peanut. Somebody different has to win the analyst pool. That's all I'm saying. Oda, what you think about that? You about to take first this week?
So my first week, I had one pick right, I believe. And this last week, I stepped into my groove and I got 5 out of 6 right, which is, about what I average in my I can get one wrong here and there, but of course I'm going to gamble on myself. I should have won that game against Peanut, but I didn't. So I'm here in second place with Peanut, which actually is a tie for first place, a 3-way tie with me, you, and Peanut. And this week I'm going to make all my selections appropriately to take the title and lead in the analyst pool.
Okay, well I got it up now, so it looks like everyone picked the champ to win, and everyone picked correctly, and that was the only one that everyone picked correctly. It looks like everyone picked Motor Great pick, except for Stockman picked Ray Butron, so he was the only one wrong on that one. You got the Dominators. Oda, you were the only one that picked the Dominators. Everyone else got that one wrong.
Yeah.
Y'all had faith in me, and the man put up 212 points. So all the other ones were kind of a good mix. First down killers, Peanut. Shout out to Peanut this year, man. He said, y'all motherfuckers gonna quit, underestimating me, and
Yeah.
You just got to quit underestimating because that man is the only man that picked himself to win the game that week.
That's right.
You
That's right, man. Peanut's been very vocal that he is no longer punt. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not punting. He's going for it on fourth down every time. Yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. Everybody picked Obi-Wan Mahomey. I mean, damn, Russ, it's just like that, man. The rookie comes in against the champ. Nobody thinks you're gonna get it done, and you almost did, but you didn't. And that, hey, that happens in life. I can't believe this many people picked Nico to win. It's so hard to choose between a bum and a bum, it's like, who do you choose? Do you choose this bum, or do you choose this bum? And it just so happened that Nico had a knife. Nico had a gun and Troy had a knife, and Troy brought a knife to a gunfight. So I picked Nico too. But yeah, solid pick Oda Great on going with the Dominators and the 200 points. And then yeah, Peanut made that. Peanut had to call on the on his own game. You got to bet on yourself. And then yeah, I did see me and Oda making the seeing that Stocky didn't draft nearly the team that I did. He's not half the fucking fantasy football manager I am, and that's just plain and simple to see. So all you guys that didn't pick that, that's on you. Um, let's talk a little bit about next week's matchups and who you guys have picked. Oda, talk to me about your picks real quick. Just kind of go through them, who you have picked and why, and yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, we can start off with the first game of the week between the Christian Mingles and the Obi-Wan Mahomey. Um, well, based off the simple fact that Christian Mingle hasn't solidified his lineup, I'm going to go with the Obi-Wan Mahomey just because that's just the way we do things around here, man. It's just an old saying.
Understood.
If you wait late, then you wait late. So, and next pick in this one, I think I'm gonna have to go with the same situation, man. The first down killers, they don't have anybody in their spots, man. I just don't like the way that looks. When things happen, it makes me think people aren't ready for what's getting ready to happen. I just can't sit back and make a pick on the last minute tip. So they may make a mistake. So I'm going to go with the great Patron there. And who do we have here next? Dominators versus Swoop Fleet. The rematch. I don't.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I don't think Dom's team is going to come and play like they did before, but I'm going to have to go with the Dominators on this one. He might be his groove, and I'd be wrong to go against the odds, especially after. I mean, 200. If you balloon 200, he comes down to 150. If he does that, he might beat everybody that week. So I got to go with the odds, man. Next game, Raging Russian versus myself. And we know I'm going to pick myself. I don't care what the situation is. So
Mhm. Mhm.
skip that.
Mhm.
Next game, Bush Family versus my rival Diggs had a little loss. Uh, it's going to be a tough game between these two. I think I'm going to have to go with based off, wow, that rookie still got the Darnell Mooney in his lineup. I'm going to go. When it comes to the battle of the dicks,
Whew.
you know,
Whew.
it's tough, man. I'm gonna have to go with my great dick, man. Looking like Troy might have another dick like season, man. If he doesn't get a win soon. And on that note, I think I'm gonna hit submit picks, man, and that's it. What do
Wow.
you think, Jared?
I like that. I like
All
that.
right, man. All right. Well, like you said, a couple of the harder games I think to distinguish a clear winner this week. Right off top, former champ, both former champs, but present champ. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
shout
Respect.
out to PJ. Let's we did the previews. Um, let me go back here. Um, and it's gonna be a close one this week. So I don't know. Right now it's Obi Wan Mahomey. I might change my mind. Take a further peek at it before game time. You
Yeah.
got to get them picks in before the Thursday games tomorrow.
Always.
Hashtag
Always.
this is your reminder. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. You don't listen to the league, bro. You don't listen to the league pod.
That's a
You
fact.
don't get reminded.
Knowledge.
So
Message.
find some time.
Message.
All right. So next game, you know what I mean. You got first down killers with Ray Tron. Um, I think Greg Poutron's got a team. They just didn't show up last week. I think he's going to steal the victory. I'm going to underestimate him one more week. Okay, you
Okay.
know, history is history. You know, he's changed history. He's gotten better. Just one more week. I'm gonna underestimate him just so slightly. You know, he'll pick himself, and I hope that man is the only one who gets that W for that. You know, I'm picking myself. I got some injuries, suspensions. I got some other shit going on. You know what I mean? But it's all good. You know, Mari Cooper ain't getting that 20 piece this week. That's an outlier, is what the analytics say. And you know, Cooper gonna poop. So get ready for that this week. Uh, 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 I predict maybe 130 burger. But you know, my team's strapped to overcome that. We got Pity City coming back. He's gonna be a target monster because no one else can catch the ball in in the indie football team. So picking myself. Uh, you already know Raging Russians looking nice, bro. He's on the uptick. He's gotta come with that. He's gotta win both 2-on-1 squads. This is the other matchup that I'm gonna have to take a further look at. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and you know both squads look nice, man. They look like they're potential contenders. These are the ones I'm really eyeing up. You know what I mean? Unlike the Dom squad. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's go with all in the family, Al in the family. Uh, for now, I come back and review that before game time. Diggs had a little lamb. Ross family fantasy. It's tough. You know, the former champ is 0-2, and I just really think you know, as a former champ, he can get it done this week, man. Otherwise, it's looking grim. As far as you know, getting those early season wins because quarter of the season's coming. Russ Family Fantasy, he's putting it together. He started out with an orphan, as they're called, um, and you know I've seen some of his moves. I questioned some, and some have been okay. You know what I mean? Like, sure, yeah, pick that guy up, but there's been a couple where I'm like, oh, he dropped him. Okay. So for this week, the former champ Diggs has a little and has my confidence. Mark him down. Um, let's see. Battle of the Dicks, aka Sword Fight Pause. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts.
It's like an HBO special this week, boys. You know what I mean? The big dick came out swinging this year. You know what I mean? There was the swinging dick this year, and then there was the baby dick that dances in cleats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I gotta go with Mother Great Dick because 2-0, been great so far. No homo.
No homo. No
Those are
homo.
my picks. Submit, and I'm gonna come back and look at those two matchups like Mingle and the former champ or present champ, both former champs, and I'm gonna look at your matchup, Oda, and with the Raging Russians.
Well, I'm gonna
Steve, what
I'm
do you got?
I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna be quick since we have a couple minutes left on the Zoom, and I'm cheap and not rich, so I don't have an upgraded membership. I'm gonna go through pretty quickly, and as we close out, I'm going with myself. This is one of the only times that I really thought maybe I wanted to go with the other person, but even if I could never not bet on the team that I drafted because I believe in them. So I'm going with myself. I do think Gray Poutron gets it back together this week, gets his shit right, and picks up the win over Peanut. So I'm going with Gray Poutron. Um, it's hard to go against a guy that scored 200 points last week. I'm going with the
I
Dominators,
understand.
Raging Russians versus Allen and the family. As much as I love the Raging Russians, I just don't know which. This is the crossroad for them. Either they're going to be a team that's going to be back in the finals of the SSL championship, or they're headed towards what they were the first couple of years they were in the league. This week I'm going with Allen the family. Hard to bet against Josh Allen. And then Diggs had a little lamb. What happened to Stocky? He used to be good at fantasy football once or twice in his life. I'm going with the rookie. I think he inherited a team, but he has made some waiver moves. The team wasn't terrible in my opinion to start off with, and I think sometimes just having a fresh face head coach, an ownership definitely inspires the players to play a little bit differently, as you can see in the Indianapolis professional football team, and why they're now blaming Frank Wright for all their problems. As far as the sword fight and the battle of the Great Dicks, I'm easily taking Mo the Great Dick. I mean, off name alone, he's the Great Dick. Pause. And Dick was just dead to the cleats. I can identify with the greatness of myself. So I'm gonna go with Mo the Great Dick. But again, just don't let Dick beat you, Mo, because then just Dick beating Dick. Pause. I don't know if I don't got no interest in Dick beating Dick. But yeah, man, we all out of here. Oda, Jared, appreciate having y'all, man. We're gonna do it again next week, man, and we'll get it in. Absolutely. Hey, man, I sure did it too. I sure did it too. I did it both times. To all of them. To all of them. I don't even think you can lose to a Dick anymore. Man, you can't. Oh, everybody's got them on, man. And you can get these at sslshop.com. We're going to be coming out with a new wave of these for last year, even though it's next year. We're not forgetting about Mo the Great Dick. There will be another edition. But we'll talk about that later, man. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll catch y'all with you. Peace.
All right, man. Here we go, man. We got Peanut back, analyst pool champion. You know what it is, man. How you doing, Peanut?
I'm doing good, man. How's it going, bro?
It's good, man. It's good, man. It's good, man. Let's go ahead and get some of this bum shuffle out the way, because this is the bum shuffle brought to you by me and Peanut. Just to remind you guys, of the petty, meaningless roster moves you make. Peanut, let's start us off with the bum shuffle, bro.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, man. I got a couple going in week one. Start of the season. Everybody's trying to fill in a few gaps here and there and everything else. But for my first bad shuffle of the week, in week one, I got Mr. Tron, picking up Jameis Winston and dropping Irv Smith Jr. That's a somewhat decent deal, but Jameis has been hurt, so I don't know how much of a big bum shuffle that was, but I don't know if it helped him or hurt him. I don't know.
Well, he's got Dak Prescott, who got injured, so he kind of had to do something. But is Jameis Winston really the answer to any question in fantasy football?
Not right now, man. Not right now. It's not looking too good.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I definitely got number two pick of the week for bum shuffles, Mr. J. J. With the kicker situation. He didn't really draft a kicker. Looking for a kicker, so he had to pick up a couple bum kickers on the waiver line.
A couple.
Yeah, a couple. But my biggest one is he dropped Elliott. He picked up Elliott. I'm sorry.
He did.
Picked up and dropped Robbie Gold.
He did.
I'm like, man, I don't know about that. Gold is gold. Gold is gold in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I don't know about, but Jake Elliott, he's a decent pickup.
But he also had to have picked up Robbie Gold off the free agency because he didn't draft a kicker. So that means, he's shuffling kicker bums. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, but really, week one to be doing that bum shuffling at the kicker position, that's kind of rough, man.
It is. It really is. All right, go ahead and finish out your top five for week one.
Excuse me, but no, I got really three bad and a couple good.
Okay, all right.
My last bad pick of the week, I believe, for week one, belongs to Owen. Great. With the Claypool pickup and dropping hard.
Oh, that's right. That was number one. That was epic bum shuffling right there.
Yeah, that was a big, epic bum shuffle right there, man. I
I kind of agree, but we didn't know what Harden was going to do week one. And Claypool, he's not really the guy in Pittsburgh. So I kind of really don't see the point in that bump shuffle. But hey, I don't know. Mr. Oda Great with the greatest pickup in SSL league history. So he claims.
So he claims. Well, yeah, I like your top three. I'll go ahead and share my top three bum shuffles for week one. Coming in at number three, because it wasn't super egregious. I was just trying to make a reach, and that'd be me, your commissioner, with the Isaiah Likely. I picked him up, then I dropped him. I think I picked him up again, and two part to that, Corey Davis, because I dropped Corey Davis for Likely, then I dropped Likely for Corey Davis, and that's pretty. That's shuffling. That's picking up bums for no reason other than I just was bored on the waiver wire. That's a shame. But that's number three. Number two is a little more egregious, and it has to do with uh, the Tyrion Davis Price situation with Oda Great. Now we know he's known to shuffle bums every year. He's gonna get on his shuffle. That's what he does, and he claims to have it. But the crazy part about it is he drafted. Did he draft Sky Moore? I think he drafted Sky Moore in the late round.
I believe he did.
And he drafted him, and then he dropped him for a guy named Tyrion Davis Price, who hasn't even suited up for a game this year. He hasn't even literally put a jersey and pads on.
Yeah, he's got a lot of rookies on his squad at the beginning of the league.
Yeah, he likes to make that happen. But then my number one bad just bum shuffle, just wow, man, why bum shuffling bums, man, and it's to piggyback off of your Jameis Winston, Irv Smith, with Geno Smith off the waiver, Gray Poutron. Why? You dropped Irv Smith and you picked up Jameis, and I'm sure that was already that was one of your shuffles of the week. But then to pick up Geno Smith on the back end, and they both sat on his bench, nobody played.
Oh, wow.
I don't think none of them played. He had Trevor Lawrence or somebody, but he's still shuffling bums on the back end. It's sad, man.
But that's week one undecisiveness.
That is week one.
That's week one undecisiveness.
Yeah.
That is five right there. So
Yeah, man.
you gotta add that to the bump shuffle.
You do. Let's talk about some of the better shuffles, better pickups.
All right, the better pickups for this week, week one, coming in at number three. I got Mr. J with Dotson dropping dives.
Yeah, that was
I thought that was a great pickup.
a smart move.
Great pickup. I mean, we didn't know Dotson was going to take off the way he did, but
And that's stocky, by the way, over there where Diggs had a little land. That's stocky.
I'm not sure what's going on in Indianapolis, but some things that need to really get fixed this year, man. That hurt me.
Yeah, I'm also a little worried about Indianapolis. It seems like they are going backwards from the whole Carson Wentz days with Matt Ryan, but a long season to go. I'm just looking here and I'm just seeing these last little week one picks, and I mean it just got really really shuffly. Just a quick couple honorable mentions, and then I'll let you get some quick honorable mentions in. I see Russ Family Fantasy picked up Miami's defense. I think they had .46 points this week, and that's just bum shuffling at ultimate level. That's like bottom shelf Kamchaka bum shuffling there. Yeah, and that's the one I wanted to add. Obviously, cutting Mac Jones and adding AJ Green as well from Russ Family Fantasy. He did catch a touchdown, but he also dropped two other ones. So, and then the last thing I'll say is the fact that All in the Family added Mike Davis, Ravens running back, to their team at some point. He should not be rostered on any fantasy team, and that's my opinion on that. Just a couple honorable mentions. You got any other honorable mentions you wanted to kick out there on the shuffle?
Not really, man, but like I said, I think we did a pretty good job narrowing down what we saw in week one. It's some pretty bad ones, but some pretty good ones for week one. not knowing what anybody did. Had nobody even touched the field yet at that point.
Nobody.
So it was all those pickups and everything else for big gambles. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of bum shuffling, but it was a lot of good pickups too. Week one.
There
Week
were.
two, oh,
Well, speaking of week 2, let's get into week 2, man, and let's touch on some of these the same way we just did, as far as your top bum shuffles of the week for week 1, poor decisions
oh my
for
God.
week 2. That
Oh,
is.
we got some big ones for week two.
Yes, we do.
Some all outers for week two. You're gonna agree with every which one I'm gonna tell you about today.
Tell them about them.
All right, number three, I got Stocky picking up the Chicago defense.
Mm, mm, mm.
I'm a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan. Don't get me wrong. I love my Bears, but our defense is shit.
Yeah, they they bad. His team's much the same way.
Roquan Smith, he played decent game week one. Week two, this is contract year for this man.
Yeah,
Come on, you gotta bring it, buddy.
yeah,
Week.
every week.
You wanted all these millions of dollars. You held out. You tried to. You held out.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
But that defense, man, is shady business. Shady business.
Yeah, and Justin Fields doesn't make it any easier on him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
See ya.
But I'm not gonna win it all on Justin Fields. This new system, new coach.
Mm,
A lot of questions.
tomato, tomato. Yeah, please continue on with this shuffle of bums that we saw in week 2.
All right. Number two. It is Mr. Troy. Oh my God, brother. Tua has been good. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But man is not worth no $25 at this point
Big
in the
ballin'.
season.
Big balling out here. Big balling.
Big balling.
I can't hang with
Come
him.
on, bro.
I can't hang with Troy. I can't hang at the club with Troy. Troy embarrassed me.
But hey, he got the dollars to spend it, so he spent it. I can't blame the man, but man, that's a lot for Tua for week two.
It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of fab. Fab don't grow on trees. That's the thing about it. And I think more of I think it's more of a situation of a team that is not used to being in the playoffs recently, so he doesn't even think that his fab stretches that far. You know what I mean? So he's just like, why not spend it up now? You can't take it. You can't bury. Can't take it to the grave. So he does that. But that was absolutely uncalled for. It was egregious, is the word I'm going to use. Egregious to pay that kind of money.
Man, right now, especially right now in the school.
It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Be a little bit realistic.
Yep.
I might say 15 fan. I think 15 was an even number. I'm not sure. I don't even think anybody else even put a dollar amount on Tua when he bid.
Well,
Did be a fat bonus for him?
I'm not sure what I just know that certain people, better owners, usually draft a quarterback at some point, so they don't have to worry about that. So I don't have those problems. You don't have those problems with Herbert, do you? No, you don't. We don't have to shuffle. Anyway, what about your top bum shuffle of the week?
My top bum shuffle of this week belongs to my man, Oda Gray.
Oh man, he's a shuffler. He is a mover and a shaker. He's a mover and a shaker. Talk to me about it.
Man, big boy dollars, $38 for Mr. Garrett Wilson.
Boo, boo, boo.
That's almost half. That's almost half the fact of one guy.
I am willing to wager that Garrett Wilson will be back in the free agency pool in 3 weeks, and he'll be shuffling for somebody else.
I'm saying too. I guarantee Oda Gray will probably drop his cat in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I'm trying to give him 3. He shuffles so much. 2 would be, what I'm saying, fair. 2 is realistic. 2 is realistic.
Because especially right now he's 1-1.
Yeah, facts.
He's 1-1.
He's antsy. He's antsy.
That's bad. But you know, he's got starters, but he ain't got no bench.
Yeah, I noticed the bench is not very no
And
depth.
that's his kryptonite this year, bro. He ain't got no bench.
Yeah, it's a merry-go-round of waiver wire guys. It's just hop on, hop off. Which one is a rotating some conveyor belt of just bum guys at the bum guys. It's
Like it's like playing bingo with all the balls in there. You just picking the same. Nah,
his bench is like a powerball of bum waiver wire pickups.
that's all I'm telling you. That's what it is this week, and I'm sure it will be the next couple.
Oh, I'm so sure of it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm so sure of it. I'm gonna start with my top three bums of the week. And it's very easy to just start. Um, I was gonna say Tua was gonna be my number one too. Not Tua. Wilson. I was gonna say Wilson was gonna be my number one too. This is probably the silliest move I've ever seen Oda Great. Now I've seen Oda Great make some silly bum shuffles. But can we talk about this for one more second? How desperate do you have to be to pay more than a third of your fab on a guy that's getting balls thrown to him by Joe Flacco and Zach Wilson, maybe? What?
The Jets.
It's scary. It's like, do you really want that for your life? Like, I don't.
It comes to a point, like I said, this is what happens when you don't drag a bench.
It's facts.
When you don't have anybody like that, you're looking for variables in different people's games. You know, like Mr. Kittle. You know, his stock just went up because Lance went down.
That's right.
Mr. Garoppolo's in there, so now his stock's on up. So now he's hoping the same thing. Flacco hasn't been bad his last two games.
No, he hasn't.
Nah, he's looking like he's almost looking like the Joe from when he was with the Ravens.
Almost.
Almost, but his age has gotten to him. Okay, he's an older cat, and he's just like Matt Ryan. You know, he's an older cat. He can get the job done when it needs to be done, but everybody's got to be on the A game.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I was gonna go number two of just bum shuffle of the week, just on principle. I didn't know Dallas defense was a thing, but as a homer, I can understand taking the home team. What I can't understand is the kicker. We know this man does not like or doesn't want kicker in the league. But here he is shuffling again, dropping Dustin Hopkins and picking up Dallas kicker Brett Maher. It's like it's like a merry fucking go round. It's just like, when will it end? The kicker carousel.
But you know what? I kind of agree with a little bit why you made that move, because Dak is not in there. Okay.
It's a fact.
What he's betting on is that Dallas will move the ball some, because you got CeeDee Lamb, you got playmakers.
Yeah.
You know, that can move the ball a little bit, but drives will stall. And
Yeah.
that's what he's betting on. He's like, man, this guy's can move the ball some, but I got a good chance that Dallas's drives are going to stall a lot, and we're going to be kicking a lot of field goals.
Yeah, that's
So I can see it. I can see
I see it. That's kind of why I cooped them together as my number three, because they were right at the same time too. It was like, come on. My number two is kind of bummy, but it's like it paid off in a weird way, and it's also swiftly sends you to Evans. Hayden Hurst pickup, drop Jalen Warren. All right, I don't even know how you got Jalen Warren in the first place. That's obviously a bum shuffle move. Classic bum shuffle, like high-level bum shuffling. But Hayden Hurst did get a bunch of targets. I think he might have even had like 10 fantasy points. And tight end is a very tough position. But if you think Hayden Hurst is going to get targets in an offense where you got T. Higgins, where you got Tyler Boyd, and obviously you got Jamar Chase, and you know Joe Mixon's going to get a couple out the backfield, I just can't wait and just hoping on a prayer every week for fucking Hayden Hurst to maybe catch a touchdown. What you think about that one?
Well, to be honest with you, the tight end position is so very weak this year.
It
It's not
is.
even funny.
It is.
It's it's a position that everybody's going to struggle in unless you have two good tight ends on your team.
Again, that's great.
And
That's great.
not too much for 'em, but I think I got two decent tight ends on my team. That's kind of going to make me survive. I'm just hoping that Mr. Kittle can get it together with Mr. Garoppolo now. Can come in the picture.
I respect it.
But to your point, is that it's very thin. We got a couple tight ends just coming out the woodwork. It's like Mr. Smith out of Minnesota. He's been balling.
Yeah.
Even Logan Thomas for Washington. He's been balling. Nobody,
Yeah, we're gonna.
a couple years ago, I believe.
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk about Logan Thomas a little later. In the good pickups. But my last, I think I had one more to go, and my last one, and this is just such a good example of bums shuffling around bums. Coming in at number one for me is Oda Great One with a 2-part shuffle. This is a 2-step, all right? He picks up Tyrion Davis Price. He drops Tyrion Davis Price for Robert Tonyan. He then drops Robert Tonyan only a day later to pick up Zach Moss. Then he drops Zach Moss the very 2 days after this to pick up Garrett Wilson for $38. It's like a compounding. It compounded all through the week. It was like a structured shuffle. It was amazing. I've never seen bums moved around like that. What do you think about that?
That, but I haven't either. And you know what? To be honest, Oda Great was probably going to be the only owner that does that.
Yeah, he shuffles.
Like you don't see anybody. We see good bum shuffles, but
Oh yeah.
to see like day one to day two, they make you a day. I mean, you cut.
You cut.
I hate to be up in there saying, bro.
No, you can't because it's like WWE back in the day when they was cutting everybody. It's just like you don't have no union, you don't have nothing to keep you safe. You any given time. And I think what the main thing is when you draft a solid bench, like you said, you don't have to worry about shuffling as much. But man, I don't think he's got anybody on his bench that he started with.
Alright, I got a couple good ones. I got that Logan Thomas. I'm gonna go back to Mr. Logan Thomas.
Agreed.
Pick up about
Agreed.
like I said, he's back to his old self again. I believe he was a top pick last couple years ago. I believe something.
Yeah.
I know he hasn't been in the league long, but because he got hurt.
He did.
Now he's at the old days of old and coming back. Mr. Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas, I agree. I like it.
Alright, my second one kind of took me more a little bit. I picked up Irv Smith Jr.
Oh yeah, that was.
That man, I thought that was pretty smart.
You get a golf clap for that.
And I said that because Mr. Kirk Cousins has been targeting this man a lot. As far as Justin's gonna get his. So
That's a fact.
the next big man is Irv Smith Jr. Even though he dropped the 80-yard touchdown pass
He did.
last week, that hurt. But he caught a good couple passes, and I think he's worth a good stash on the bench.
Mhm.
Not quite Carter started yet, but in a good pinch, I thought that was a good pickup at the time.
Agreed.
Especially in this tight end market right now.
Oh yeah, agreed. Agreed. Definitely agreed.
But yeah, those are just my top two. I didn't really see too much of
It- there-
bumps.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of good pickups, so I'll be quick as we wrap up. I saw that Brashard Perriman was picked up by another frequent offender of the bum shuffling, Jarrett. Swiftly sending you to Evans. And Evans is out, Brashard Perriman, you got to do something. That's just smart fantasy football management. You go out, you at least try to get a piece of the GOAT's offense. Not too mad about that. My second would actually be DeAndre Carter, from Rush Family Fantasy, picked him up about 5:07 a.m. So you can't say that the young kid, the new guy, the rookie, whatever you want to call him, you can't say he's not on his shit. He's up at 5:07, you know what I'm saying, making moves, and you know, he's trying to make that happen. So I respect that. And then with my yeah, oh yeah, he's up. You can. And then my number one, and again, it's not anything great or crazy or anything like that. Would be Stocky, picking up Eno Benjamin, and dropping Kenneth Gainwell. I think Eno Benjamin could pay dividends quickly. With if Ryan Connor is really out. Is that his name, Ryan Connor? What a weird name. It's like two first names. Anyway, but yeah, if he's out, then I think Eno Benjamin could definitely pay dividends at a high powered offense. That's pretty much it. I didn't see much else. Any last words for the shuffling of bums? I mean, it's just like, why are some of the guys? Some of you guys got to stop, man. You know who you are, Oda. You know who you are, Jarek. You know who you are becoming, Russ Family Fantasy.
Yes, sir. And you know what? I got the top 5 guys right now. Current top 5 with guys with the most moves right now.
Oh, I love that. Let's end with that. That's beautiful, beautiful tech.
All right. So with the least amount of moves at number 5 is you, Mr. Sir, Mr. Commissioner, with 8.
I'll take that.
Number 4 is Bob with 9 moves.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Oda with 10 moves.
Oh, surprising he's not higher.
No, I'm not. No, that's very shocking. Number 2 is Jay with 11 moves.
Of course, frequent offender.
And number 1 mover of the league so far after week 2 is Stocky.
Wow.
13 moves.
When you draft a shitty team, you have to make those moves, and you got to make them at a high level. It's just that simple. All right, Peanut man, it's good talking to you, man. I'll catch you next week for the bump shuffle.
Yes, sir. Week 3 is gonna be interesting.
It is definitely is. All right, brother. Peace.